My wife of 25 years left her Apple Watch at home, and now my entire reality is falling apart. I, 55M, have been married to my wife, Sarah, 52F, for 25 years. We met in our 20s, built a whole life together, and just this past August, our youngest kid packed up and moved into his college dorm. We are officially empty nesters. I genuinely thought we were entering a golden era. More disposable income, more free time. I was looking forward to traveling and just being a couple again. To cope with the quiet house, Sarah decided to get really into fitness. She bought a ton of expensive gear, signed up for a local running club, and started training for half marathons. I fully supported it. I drove her to her first 5K. I tracked her progress on the app she'd linked to the family iPad. I thought she looked great, and I was genuinely happy she'd found something she loved. She seemed lighter, happier. I told myself the empty nest transition was going better than I'd feared. I was an idiot. Yesterday, she went out to run some errands and left her Apple Watch on the charger on her nightstand. I was in our bedroom putting away laundry when the screen suddenly lit up with a text notification. I usually wouldn't look, but it was sitting right there, impossible to miss. The message was from a contact saved only as M. It said, "Can't wait for tonight. Hotel is booked." My stomach instantly hit the floor. I walked over, hands shaking, and tapped the screen. Because of how the watch syncs, it let me scroll up and see the last few messages in the thread. Sarah, I'm so sore from yesterday. You wore me out. M, last time was incredible. I can't stop thinking about what you did to me in the back of my car. I felt like I couldn't breathe. I grabbed my phone and took pictures of the watch screen, dropping my phone twice because my hands were trembling so badly. I dry heaved into the master bathroom sink. 25 years. We share everything. We just went to Italy for our anniversary. In a total panic, I called my best friend, Dave. Dave and I go back to college. He was the best man at my wedding. The guy has known me longer than Sarah has. If there is anyone in the world I call at a moment like this, it's Dave. "Dave, she's cheating on me," I blurted out as soon as he answered. "Sarah is fucking someone." "Jesus, whoa, slow down," Dave said. "Are you sure? What happened?" I read him the messages, practically hyperventilating. Dave took a deep breath. "Listen to me. Don't confront her yet. You need to be smart about this. If you blow up now, she'll just delete everything and lie. Pack a bag. Come over to my place. We'll figure this out together." "How the fuck can I be smart about this?" I yelled, tears streaming down my face. "She's supposed to be home in an hour." "Just get out of the house," Dave insisted. "Don't let her spin this." At the time, I thought that was the best advice I'd ever received. Dave, steady as always. Dave, who always knew what to do. I have known this man through 2 of my parents' deaths, a health scare, 3 job changes, and every ugly thing life threw at me for 3 decades. I told Sarah once that if I ever got into serious trouble, Dave was the first person I'd call. She agreed. She said he was basically family. I didn't listen to him about leaving. I packed a duffel bag, but I'm sitting here in the living room, staring at the front door. I feel sick to my stomach. She's going to walk through that door any minute, and I don't know if I can hold it together. It's been 3 days. I haven't gone back to the house. Dave has been a lifesaver, letting me crash here and making sure I actually eat. Yesterday, I was lying in bed staring at the ceiling when I realized something. I'm the primary account holder for our Verizon family plan. I booted up my laptop, logged into the account, and pulled the detailed billing logs for Sarah's line. I wanted to throw up all over again. I found the number she's been texting. It started last October. Thousands of text messages, hundreds of hours of phone calls, mostly during the day while I was at the office, but sometimes late at night. There were nights I was asleep in the bed right next to her while she was texting this bastard. I texted her and told her to meet me at a diner off the highway. I didn't want her making a scene at our house. When she walked in, she looked terrible. Bags under her eyes, hair unwashed. I didn't care. She sat down and immediately started in on the apologies. "I miss you so much. I've already blocked Marcus. I'm looking into therapists for us." I slid the printed Verizon logs across the table. "You lied to me again," I said, my voice shaking with rage. "You said it was twice. You've been texting him since October." She looked at the papers and her face went blank. Then the tears started again. But this time, the tone shifted into blame. "I was so lonely," she cried. "You were always working. You came home and just watched TV. When the kids left, the house was a tomb. Marcus actually asked me about my day. He listened to me." "Bullshit," I told her. "I was working overtime to pay for the kitchen remodel you insisted we needed. I looked at you every damn day. You just chose to look somewhere else." She tried to grab my hand across the table, but I pulled away. "Please," she begged. "I'll do anything. I'll sign a post-nub. Just come home." I stood up, threw a 20 on the table for the coffees we didn't drink, and walked out. "I'm meeting with a divorce attorney tomorrow. Dave keeps telling me to take it one day at a time and not do anything rash, but I can't stay married to a stranger." I keep thinking about the word stranger. I keep turning it over. I have been sleeping next to this woman for 25 years, and I apparently do not know who she is. That's not a rough patch. That's not a midlife crisis. That is a completely different marriage than the one I thought I was in. Last night, I couldn't stop obsessing over Marcus. I needed a face to put to the destruction of my marriage. I dug through the Running Club's public Facebook page and eventually found him. Late 40s, smug smile in his profile picture, and right there next to him was his wife. Her name is Chloe. She's a pediatric nurse. I looked at her page and saw photos with their golden retriever, happy moments from a life that looked just like mine had looked 6 days ago. She had no idea her life was built on the same lies mine had been. I felt a moral obligation to tell her. I sent her the photos I'd taken of Sarah's Apple Watch, explained who I was and what I knew. Chloe called me on Facebook Messenger about an hour later. I was expecting hysterics, denial. Instead, she sounded completely dead inside, the voice of someone who has received bad news so many times that the delivery mechanism has worn smooth. "I'm filing for divorce next week," she told me flatly. "Marcus is a serial cheater. Your wife is the third woman I've caught him with this year." "I am so incredibly sorry," I said. "Sarah admitted they've been together since October. I have the phone logs." The line went quiet for a few seconds. "October?" Chloe asked. "That's impossible." "I have the Verizon records," I said. "Thousands of texts." "Listen to me," Chloe said, her voice dropping. "Marcus is in the National Guard. He was deployed to Kuwait from September until February. He didn't even have his American phone with him. He didn't join that local running club until April." I felt the blood roaring in my ears. "Are you sure?" "I'm positive. Whoever your wife was texting in October, November, and December, it wasn't my husband. Marcus was 6,000 miles away." We hung up, and I just sat on the edge of the guest bed at Dave's house, staring at the wall for a long time. I thought about all the things I had accepted as fact over the last week. Sarah confessed to Marcus. I confirmed the phone records. I built the whole picture around Marcus. I had been so certain I understood what had happened that I never questioned whether the story she gave me was the complete one. She confessed to Marcus specifically because Marcus was a defensible answer. Recent, local, from the running club, the kind of thing she could frame as a weak moment. She gave me something real so I would stop looking. I pulled out the printed Verizon logs. The number she was texting all winter was a local area code. I tried calling it. It rang 3 times and went to a generic automated voicemail. No name, no identifying information. A number that had been active for 5 straight months and then simply stopped. My wife isn't just a cheater. She's been managing the story of her cheating. That's a different thing. That takes calculation. That takes someone who has thought about what happens if she gets caught and has a plan ready. I don't know who I've been sleeping next to for the last decade. I genuinely do not know. Who the hell was she texting in October? I'm writing this from Dave's guest bathroom with the door locked. I'm shaking so violently I can barely type. After I got off the phone with Chloe yesterday, I spent hours poring over the Verizon logs. The mysterious local number that Sarah was constantly texting in October, November, and December stopped completely in late March. Then a brand new number started up in April. The April number was Marcus, but who was the first number? I've been agonizing over it all day. Dave has been steady through all of it. Ordered pizzas tonight, bought a six-pack, sat with me in the living room. "Man, you just need to focus on the divorce," Dave kept saying, taking a swig of his beer. "Don't go digging for more pain. Sarah is a cheating liar. Leave it at that. You've got me. You'll get through this." About 20 minutes ago, Dave got up to take a shower. His personal phone was sitting on the kitchen island, plugged into the charger. I don't know why I did it, paranoia, sickness, a gut feeling that something was deeply, fundamentally wrong. The way he kept steering me away from the logs, the way he'd told me not to confront her that first night. I had filed all of it away as good advice from someone who loved me, but something had been scratching at the back of my brain, and I couldn't make it stop. I took the printed Verizon logs out of my pocket. I typed the mysterious October number into my phone just to see if it would auto-populate a contact. Nothing. Then, feeling like I was losing my mind, I walked over to Dave's phone. I tapped his screen, his dog as the wallpaper. I held my breath, dialed the October number on my phone, and pressed call. I watched Dave's phone on the counter. Nothing happened. I let out a breath I didn't know I was holding. I was losing my mind, suspecting my best friend of 30 years. I felt disgusted with myself, but as I turned to walk back to the guest room, I saw a light blinking on Dave's desk in his home office. Dave has a second phone, a work phone for his contracting business. He always leaves it on silent in the office when he's off the clock. I've seen it 100 times. I never thought anything of it. I walked into the dark office. The phone was sitting next to his keyboard. I looked down at my phone. The call to the October number was still ringing. The screen on Dave's work phone was lit up. Incoming call, my phone number. I hung up immediately. The work phone went dark. I felt like I was going to throw up. I picked up his work phone. He doesn't even have a passcode on it. I opened his text messages. Right there at the top was an active thread with an unsaved number. I recognized it immediately. Sarah's. Sarah, yesterday. He found Marcus's wife. I'm terrified he's going to keep looking at the phone records. Dave, I told you to be careful and use WhatsApp like I said. You're so fucking sloppy. Sarah, I know, I'm sorry. Is he still talking about the logs? Dave, I'm handling him. He's staying in my guest room. I'll make sure he doesn't dig too deep. Just stick to the Marcus story. Sarah, Marcus was a stupid mistake. I miss you. When he files, we won't have to hide anymore. Dave, just let me handle him for now. I'm sitting on the cold tile floor of his bathroom right now. The shower in the master bathroom just turned off. My wife of 25 years, my best friend of 30 years, the guy who stood next to me at my wedding, the guy who poured me a whiskey and patted my shoulder while I cried over my broken marriage. He's been sleeping with her since October. He made me pack a bag and come stay in his house so he could monitor me and control what I found out. I hear his bedroom door open. His footsteps are coming down the hallway. Hey, man, Dave is calling out. You want another beer? I don't know what to do. His footsteps are getting closer to the bathroom door. Yeah, just a minute. I choked out. My voice sounded like I was swallowing glass, but Dave just knocked once on the doorframe and walked back toward the kitchen. I looked down at his work phone in my hand. My blood felt like ice water. I didn't try to formulate a plan. I didn't try to be smart about it the way Dave had so helpfully advised me when this all started. Dave was at the fridge, pulling out 2 IPAs. He turned around with that same relaxed, easy smile he's had since we were 20-year-old frat brothers. Then he looked down at my hand. His smile vanished. I have never seen a human being look so instantly cornered in my entire life. The beer bottles slipped out of his hands and shattered on the kitchen floor. Glass and foam went everywhere, just like the pasta sauce Sarah had dropped a few days ago. They really are perfect for each other. You sick motherfucker, I said. My voice wasn't even loud, it was dead. Listen to me, Dave said, his hands coming up. He actually took a step backward, crunching on broken glass in his bare feet. It's not what it looks like. Let me explain. Explain what? I screamed, the rage finally snapping through everything. Explain how you sat there and poured me whiskey while I cried over my wife? Explain how you told me not to look at the logs? You've been sleeping with her since October, Dave. My wife. We never meant for it to happen, Dave yelled back, his face turning red. It just happened. You were neglecting her, man. You were always at work and she just needed someone to talk to. It was supposed to just be talking. I didn't even think. I threw his work phone as hard as I could right at his face. He ducked, and it smashed into the drywall behind him, leaving a massive dent before clattering to the floor. You're a sociopath, I said, my chest heaving. Both of you. You had me staying in your guest room like a prisoner so you could manage what I found out. I was trying to protect you, he had the absolute audacity to say, stepping toward me. If you found out about us, it would destroy you. Marcus was just a fling for her, but I actually love her. We were trying to figure out how to let you down easy. I saw red. I rushed him and shoved him hard against the refrigerator. We grappled and crashed into the kitchen island. I haven't been in a fight since a bar brawl in 1992, but I wanted to hurt him. I hit him in the side of the head, and he shoved me back, holding his jaw. "Get the fuck out of my house," Dave shouted. "Gladly," I said. I went into the guest room, grabbed my duffel bag, and walked out the front door into the dark. I didn't even grab my charger. I just got in my car, locked the doors, and drove. I ended up at a cheap Motel 6 a couple of towns over. I paid for 3 nights in cash. I've been sitting on this sagging mattress since 2 a.m. My knuckles are bruised, my head is pounding, and my phone has been blowing up nonstop. Sarah has called me 27 times. She sent me a wall of texts swearing Dave manipulated her, that he preyed on her vulnerability, that she wants to end it with him and save our marriage. 10 minutes later, I got a text from Dave from his personal number. He told me Sarah is a liar, that she pursued him, and that I'm a fool if I ever take her back. They are literally turning on each other like rats on a sinking ship. The sun is coming up now. I'm supposed to go to my lawyer's office to sign the divorce retainer in 3 hours, but I don't even know if I can safely drive right now. I haven't told my kids yet. My son called me a while ago to talk about his midterms, and I just stared at the ringing screen until it went to voicemail. I can't do it. I can't sit on the phone with him and pretend nothing has happened. I can't break his heart and explain what his mother did, what Dave did, what our entire family structure actually was underneath the surface that looked so solid for so long. He's 21, and he thinks his parents have a real marriage, and his dad's best friend is practically an uncle. He's going to find out all of it eventually. I don't know how to be the one to tell him. I don't know how you start that sentence. I keep thinking about Italy. We went in April. We drank wine at a little place on a hill outside Siena, and she reached across the table and held my hand and said she was the happiest she'd ever been. I believed her. I took a picture of her laughing in the afternoon light and I sent it to Dave with the message, "Not bad for 25 years." He replied with a heart emoji. I am going to be sick for a very long time about that. I sent my wife a photo of herself laughing in Italian sunlight and shared it with the man she was sleeping with, and he sent back a heart emoji, and I thought that was friendship. I'm turning my phone off. I don't know where I'm going to live. I don't know who I can trust anymore. 25 years of marriage, 30 years of friendship, all gone, just fucking gone. Hope you enjoyed this video. If so, please like and subscribe. See you in the next one.